Hi, I'm Dave Koch. Welcome to my channel. What makes one photographer better than another? I think probably one of the biggest things is experience. And when you think about experience, it's not that you've taken that picture 10, 100, or 1,000 times, because honestly, we're never taking the same picture twice. We're always in different houses with different lighting, with all kinds of different things that go into the frame. So it's not that you've done something 10 times, it's that you've done something 10 times differently or 100 times differently. And the more different ways you solve that problem, the more you learn about how there are other ways to solve that problem. And I think this is collectively what we call experience, at least within photography. You know, when you first start out, you've really just got one style of shooting, one real way to edit it, and that's it. And that's why your work tends to look so bland. It's just a one size fits all solution. But the more and more you shoot, and the more you've dealt with bright sunlight coming through the windows, sun's on that side of the house, so there's no light coming in these windows, rainy days, snowy days, all kinds of different things, the more you learn how to deal with each of these situations. So when you come across other situations that are similar, you've got those situations to draw from so that you can solve the problems you're being faced with. And today what I want to talk about really is that sort of thing. It's another solution to a problem you may or may not have, that you may have in the future or may never come up. So one of the things that photographers have a one size fits all sort of mentality for when they first start out, and then as they grow into the job, they find out that there are options, are home tours. I think probably everybody's first exposure to home tours is the Matterport. Everybody knows the Matterport. This is Matterport 3. Matterport 2 is a little larger, but roughly the same idea. You put it on a tripod, it spins around and does a 360 tour. Then you move it to the next spot, does another spin, that sort of thing. And it's kind of the big daddy of the 3D tours. And it has a lot of advantages, has a lot of disadvantages. The camera, for instance, is very expensive. A lot of people will start with, say, a Theta Z. I started with the Theta Z, Z1, I think. Um, I grew out of that really quick. I was not at all happy with the quality of the Theta Z1 and went to Matterport 2 very, very quickly. A lot of my clients actually requested that I only use Matterport cameras because of the quality issues with the Thetas and the what is it, the Insta360 and things like that. I know some people are really happy with it. I know the Theta and the Insta360 are a lot faster, but I think when push comes to shove, you get better quality and you get better scans with the Matterport. And then the Matterport 3 came out, and talk about a chunk of change. That does take a couple of months of saving up to get it. But I do have to say that I've gotten a lot of jobs that are Matterport 3 only. They won't even consider a Matterport 2, or definitely not a Theta Z or an Insta360. So, you know, it depends on your business model what you're going to get. I've done some extremely big jobs with the Matterport 3 that, like I said, would not have gotten with a lesser camera. And you know, so for me, that's working. And well, let's talk about the ease of use and the good points and the bad points. You can charge more when you're using a Matterport, I think, than the Theta Z1 or the Insta360. You can definitely charge more, but it takes more time. I think the Matterport cameras will give you accurate dimensions. I don't think the Theta and the Insta do that. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Could be the same output process. I know with the Matterport 3, you can go outside, and that's a giant plus over some of the other things. It may not be enough for you to upgrade just because of that, but if you start getting people calling you up and saying, hey, do you have a Pro 3? And those jobs are big enough, you might want to consider doing the upgrade. It has hit more than pays for itself every year. So definitely worth the upgrade. The downside of Matterport is they're not an easy company to work with. I think they have gotten better. Um, I have a friend, Krista, in Santa Cruz, and she just caused a little bit of a stink with Matterport. And I do think they were more responsive to her and the problems that she brought up than they have been in the past. I know I personally have had real nasty problems with Matterport being completely unresponsive and just like, you know what, I don't really care about you. And so Matterport has left a very bad taste in my mouth. That being said, I still do them because there really is no substitute to Matterport. So um, they have the dollhouse, and I know everybody says, "Oh, the dollhouse," but it's also because realtors know what a Matterport is. You don't have to sell it. They know what it is. Some of these other options, you have to sell. You have to show them. You have to you have to really work hard to get them to convert from Matterport to something else because Matterport is a known quantity. It's, sometimes I say like Sony and Canon and Nikon, it's Ford and Chevy and Chrysler. Well, Matterport to the competition is kind of like Ford versus Fiat. I mean, it really is the big kid on the block versus things that most people don't know, understand, or feel good about. Downside, very expensive. It is a proprietary system. You don't own the images. You can't edit the images. They store everything, and you have to pay a monthly fee to keep those scans active. So what I do, especially on corporate or commercial properties, I charge a yearly fee. That ends up paying my Matterport fees. So it's a push as far as I'm concerned. I actually think I make a little bit of money on it. That is something you need to know going into it. And that's one way of selling it or selling an alternative. You don't own the images in Matterport. Now let's look at their biggest competition, and that is iGuide. Yes, I have that too. I have all of them. Here is the iGuide. Oh, did I take the... Oh, there's my camera. I just don't have it mounted right now. This is the iGuide, and you do put a Theta Z on this, and then put that on your tripod and do a scan with that. The scan ends up coming down on this little card, and you can put that on your computer and do all your editing there. Now notice you can do your editing. The iGuide is not proprietary like the Matterport is. You own the images, you can edit the images, you can host them on your local server. Your client can host them on their local server. So if someone wants to, for instance, put that all on their web server, this is a far better choice. Matterport you can insert into your web page, but iGuide you can actually host on your own web server and do that. Just recently, we've gotten a really good third option that I think is worth considering, and that is from CubiCasa. And the equipment you already have. It's this. I think we all pretty well know CubiCasa. You go around, you do a scan and point your camera at the floorboards, and when you're done, you end up with a, a floor plan of the whole house. So really, you don't get the tour going till essentially the next day. You have to edit all your images, obviously, for them to insert them into the tour. So generally, I start the tour the next day, and that's what today is. So I've got all my finished images, and I've already gotten the floor plans back from CubiCasa. So now you go back to CubiCasa and you log in and you go to your dashboard and you find your property and you click on it and you open it. And there's our floor plan. Everything is good. We've gotten our 3D products back just so that you can see them. This is them. Got a really nice tour. Everything is beautiful. So what we do now is we go to the CubiCasa Tour, and it's as simple as can be. You just click upload photos, and I go to my exports folder. That's right on my desktop because I do this a lot. And I go into where my pictures are. And then I find it easier to, look at these as icons. I wish they were bigger, but I've got, as you can see over here, a bigger version of it. So if I need to question an image, I can. So I'll just go through here. And I think we'll start with that 12512. So I'll just click that. And then on a Mac, I have to hold the Command key to select multiple if they're not all in a row. So I'm just going to hold down my Command key. And I think I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to choose all the bedrooms. I like those. The bathrooms. And let's see, what is that one? Oh, I don't, oh, it's the shower. I don't think we need that. Let's get that one. Let's get one of those. And then we've got the office. I'm just clicking along, getting the images that I need. And you'll notice that I shot most of the house first, and then I shot the main rooms. And that is because we had snow that day. And it really screwed up the shoot. So I went back to shoot the rooms that had the great views here on a separate day. And I waited till I had all the images done, and I'm uploading those all right now. Let's see. Also notice you don't select any exteriors. You cannot include any exteriors. And I'm just getting the shots I like. And that's it. I picked the shots. I don't think any limit to the number of shots, but you don't want to overdo it either. So that should do it. I click open. It's going to take a little while to upload. And then you do have to choose a cover photo. Yeah, that one. See this, the islands in the distance out on the lake? I like that one. So that's the one we're going to use. And it's that one there. Now we go back to manage photos. And there it is. Make cover photo. And that is selected. So now we're done. Hit generate tour. And that is it. That's it. 19 minutes till I get delivery. How can you say no to that? So come back in 20 minutes and I'll show you. I'll even show you how to put it onto HDPhotoHub. How's that? All right. See you in 20 minutes. Well, here we go. Look at that. Our CubiCasa tour is done. It's only been about 10 or 15 minutes, so we got it done quick. All right, so our next job is to go over to the CubiCasa tour. Some photos could not be matched. Okay, but here is the tour, and that's looking good. Probably it was that outdoor one. I did one out here on this porch, and that one probably couldn't be matched. So that's looking good. Okay, looking good. All right. Then to get this on to HDPhotoHub, you just hit share and copy the link code. Then you go to your HDPhotoHub. This is the property. And you just kind of like you're doing a Matterport, you type in CubiCasa Tour or whatever you want, and then put in that embed URL. I'm going to call it Photo Floor Plan Tour. And I click OK, and then that's in there. And then now let's preview that site. That looks good. And there is our tour. Looking good. That is how easy it is to run a CubiCasa tour and put it on your page. So that's all there is to it. So essentially, you just do the scan like you would normally do it, upload it, and then you upload the images after you've edited them for the regular shoot. So all normal things that you would do. They put it all together and give you a tour back. So it's a little easier, a little faster, and a lot less hassle than either of these two. But as I said, not a 360. So those are some of the options that you have for doing a tour of a house. I think all are great options and all fit different needs and use cases for your clients or for you. So again, it's all about your knowledge. Know what iGuide does. Know what Matterport does. Know what Matterport doesn't do. And know what CubiCasa does. And know when and how to make the scans and when and how to sell them to your clients. Find out what your client needs, find out which of these suits those needs the best, and then you have the perfect chance to sell whatever tour you need to your client. I hope that makes sense, and may your next shoot be your best shoot.